Hello, everybody, and welcome back to Broken Brand. I'm your host, Stuart, and tonight we're going to be taking a look at an article about Denis Villeneuve and his series of Dune movies. I'm gonna make this quick. I've had about 3 hours sleep in the past 48 hours, so let's get right into it. Villeneuve has said now that he's not going to make another Dune movie after Dune Messiah, which is kind of depressing because he's done such an amazing work with the first Dune movie and the second to be just as good. Dune Messiah is the next book in the series, and Frank Herbert wrote six original Dune books that are vast and cover a lot of time and a lot of crazy interworld politics, and just there's so much in there that they're literally channels dedicated to breaking down Dune. It's a massive world, and I have to admit, to produce all six of the original Dune books would be a feat. We would probably lose a lot of people by the third book, and because it gets weird, it gets really weird. You're saying, oh, well, you say the original six. Well, Frank Herbert had his son Brian, and with people like Kevin Anderson and other science fiction writers, continue to expand the Dune universe with a total of, I believe, 25 books at this point. That's a lot of books. That's a lot of material to cover. So there's no way I would expect him to cover the expanded universe created by his son and other science fiction writers. However, the original six are incredible, and they're worth reading, and they're worth reading a few times. It's kind of like, I don't want to compare it to Lord of the Rings, saying it's just as good, but the world building is very similar to Lord of the Rings. There's so many things and so many different races and different peoples and different cultures that he dives into. The reasoning for the lack of technology, the lack of machines, the lack of computers, why there's mentats and all, and explaining all the different factions and the families, and it's really intense. It goes into a lot of detail just in six books. And I do think it would be a lifetime to consume all 25 books and movies, which would be an impossibility. But do the first six, I think he could do it. But like I said, three, four, that's where we're going to lose a lot of people. It gets super weird when you get to the Atreides line, how it goes, and who become the God Emperor of Dune. He becomes a hybrid and almost immortal human sandworm hybrid. And there's a lot that I would like to go into, and there's channels out there that just do it way better than I ever could. But it does. If I was Jason Momoa, I would be hoping that he would do all six, and you kind of say why, because that means Jason Momoa, who plays Jericho, is in all the books. And you're like, well, if people die and eventually it's about a generation or two of Atreides, how is he still alive? Well, they really like Jericho. The Atreides family really loves Jericho, and every time he dies, they clone him and basically restore his memories, and he continues on and continues on and continues on. I think one other person in the Dune universe has this done to them, but I think that was mentioned in passing. It has been quite a few years since I read through the Dune books. I'd say about 15 years maybe, and I have yet to read all the extended universe. But I mean, Jason Momoa. I mean, that's six blockbuster movies you're going to be in that you're going to just be in forever. I'd be really happy if I was Jason Momoa and he said, "I'm going to do all six." Man, that's just icing on the cake. But I understand going on, and as I think back to especially book six, the final chapter house, it gets wild and crazy. Like science fiction fans would love it, but the normal normies out there would just be like, "This is stupid. This is insane. What are we watching?" I hate the fact that it's going to end with Dune Messiah, but I do think from an outside perspective, looking in on how these movies would have to evolve and the technology just in CGI and filming would have to progress. This would be stuff that like Cameron does. He has to build the technology, the imaging technology, like he had to do for Abyss to make it happen. And like Villeneuve would have to literally start getting teams together to develop new visual technology to make the rest of the books happen. So that's kind of where that ends up. So I'm sad to say that yes, we're not going to get one past three by Villeneuve, and I do think that's sad. But from someone who's read them and remembers them vaguely, I do see why he's calling it quits after three, because this would consume the rest of his life, filming and creating all these movies. His timeline to create new technology, new visual effects would be paramount, but it had to be done at such a rate that a lot of the actors needed to show up and continue on through various stages of these movies would become we'd have to have new advanced de-aging technology that actually looks legitimate, unlike what we've seen in Star Wars. So I applaud that we're going to get a third movie, which is I'm grateful for. I do worry that he's going to cram Dune Messiah into one movie, because Dune Messiah has three good acts. You could break it up to. You could literally make that three movies easily and keep everyone captivated. But we'll see where the director goes, all the producers and the actors, and how it goes. I really hope it's great. Hope it's wonderful. I hope the third one is just as good as the first, and I hope because I have extreme high expectations for the second one because we're all ready, just so ready to see it, despite the terrible popcorn bucket that they released a picture of. Thought about making a video on that, but I'm like, there's just no way I could do it with a straight face going into that. And if you don't know what it is, you can figure it out. So to sum up, we're getting another Dune movie, but it's going to be the last. So happy day, sad day, but it's a good day nonetheless. So until next time, I love you all, and there's nothing you can do about it.